Welcome back, my very dear friends, to another Kohan Duels video. We've made it here once again, and you've all made it too. First thing I'm going to say, I know I talk a lot at the beginning of all of these videos, so if you don't want to hear me talking and you just want to go right to the game, we're putting timestamps in all the videos down below. You see where my finger's pointing. So there's going to be a timestamp to go right to the game, so if you don't want to hear what I say, then just go and skip a few minutes in and do that. Yeah, there's a lot of goings-ons in the community. I like to use these few minutes at the beginning of videos to do that. So the first thing I'm going to say right now is the May show match we did was fucking awesome. We did a mini tournament with 4 players, single elimination, 4 really good games. They're all up in the live stream. Please go watch that if you haven't yet. It was so fun, so cool. 3 of them were like totally new players to the scene. One of them is Tao, who we've seen a bunch of games in this tournament. So it was an awesome time. We're definitely going to keep doing them, do more. So with that being said, it is a really good time right now to get into playing the 1v1s. And I know it's my agenda to get people to play, so obviously I'm going to say that. But I will say, we just have this group of like all newer players who are good at the game, but who are new to the 1v1 scene and aren't like experts at the game. And I think that's where all of us fall right now. I mean, I never thought I've been a particularly good player, but especially since this tournament last year, I really haven't been playing that much. I'm having really good matches and getting beaten by some of these newer players. I think the same goes for BoNT. So the only reason I'm mentioning myself and BoNT there is saying like 2 of the people who maybe you thought were some of the stronger players in the community are actually like on even footing with these newer players. And you could be too, is the point I'm saying. None of us are that friggin' good at this game. We're getting there, and we're all learning, but it's just a really good time, I think, to dive in. There's games that are being played, like, more days than not on the server. People are just into the 1v1s, and it makes me so fucking happy, guys. So thank you for that. Thank you for all who participated in the May show match. Yeah, so we still have some tournament games to wrap up, and this is one of them. This is BoNT versus CrazyK. We haven't seen CrazyK at all in the tournament yet, mostly because a lot of the games he did, he just kind of completely rolled over his opponents, so I didn't even bother casting them. So CrazyK's been a really, really tough contender. He's been doing really well in this tournament. BoNT's been doing well as well. I actually don't know what his record was. Maybe he hasn't been doing well. He's a good player, so it's going to be a good match. Yeah. But go to the Discord, sign up for the June show match. It's going to be in about a month. Just start playing with us. Yeah, I just updated the maps just a little bit again. Everything is just getting honed in. The community is growing, and it just makes me all so happy. I've got nothing more to say. When I start these videos, I always think that there's going to be slightly more than I'm going to say, and I probably have things in my mind that I should write down, but this is where we're at. Let's dive into this fucking game. This is BoNT versus CrazyK. This is getting to the end of the tournament. And from what I've been told, this is a really fucking good game. So let's see if I've been lied to or not. Alrighty, my friends. Over here, we have BoNT as the Royalist player, as always, going Settler first and Woodmill. And what's the second company going to be? Always the question out of Royalist. And over here, we have Short Scouts with Ravid as the first company coming out of our console player. I don't know what weird name he chose this time, but this is CrazyK9, also known as Angry Beaver, I think is one of his other aliases. Long Scouts coming out of BoNT, but I'm going to just continue to call him Crazy during this cast, because that's what I know him as. Scouts coming out, both of them are getting their 70 gold ruins. Settlers are coming out for BoNT, and he is looking at Javon. He's looking at Roxana. Roxana's a good pick. I think Javon's a bit of a throwaway hero, but, you know, he's an archer, so he can do some good stuff. Okay, we have the town up into a carpentry guild, and CrazyK is known as being a pretty damn strong player and a pretty damn aggressive player. Every other game I've seen him play, he's just been like right out of the gate, going for early goons, going for wizard companies pretty quickly. So I'm really interested to see what he does this game, especially knowing BoNT, who's more of a slower, more macro player. Okay, so he's going for that quarry, and so this is not any sort of Dragoon opening. It's looking a little more standard and slow. We have scouts going over here. They are seeing these shadelings, not able to take them, but they're just going to be scouting around. Now, BoNT did his first settlement a little bit out here, choosing to not go for any of the safer settlement locations and going right for that iron. Now, that's one of the things you can do on this version of Destiny. You're making a little bit of a risk putting yourself out there and having that supply zone be further away, but it's a lot closer than on other maps. And so he's taking a little bit of a gamble here. I like the play. These scouts are coming in, and they're actually going to find this completely undefended. Now, BoNT scouts are going to be able to come in here and clean up with absolutely no effort. Now, this is really interesting. He's immediately going for a quarry and a mining post in here. So he's looking to be able to get some engineers out that are not going to lose him any money, I think is kind of his goal. Kind of catching Ravid here. And if they can get some really good fireballs off, then that... Oh, she doesn't have fireball. My bad. Different hero. Still going to hit Ravid a lot, but I think he's going to be able to get away. Yeah, it's so weird. I always think of Roxana as a fireball hero just because she's like fire-based, but that's only for her fire protection. Ravid does get away, not too damaged. We saw BoNT try to micro to get him, but he was not going to be able to succeed there. Okay, 5 engineers coming out, and I like 5 engineer parties, honestly. It's kind of what I tend to find myself going for the most. It's hard to explain in any really empirical way, aside from 4 just doesn't seem like enough, and 6 seems like too much. Now we have a Carpenter Guild and a Billet. He sold his quarry. Interesting. So that might have been a misplay from him actually building that quarry there. Seeing that he has the mining post, which gives +10, which is exactly enough to support this company. Now over here, what is our council player doing? Oh my god, going for very, very early library. And he's actually in the negative to do this, to get very early super scouts. Okay, I told you Crazy was fucking crazy and that he's going to go for something aggressive, and this is not what I expected, but this is what we're getting. Very interesting. I'm interested to see what he can do with this. He's obviously going to try to take some good map control with it early. It's not like he's going to be able to... Oh my friggin' god, a second company of super scouts, and he's going to be barely in the positive. So this is just that huge question. He has sacrificed so much to... Oh, you're out of supply there, buddy. He has sacrificed so much to get these early companies, and the question always is, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do to make this worth it? Because your economy is way behind BoNT's. BoNT's got his engineers up. He's mining from his gold deposit, and he is probably going to go and snag that iron soon, and I think we're seeing some early goons out of our friend BoNT. And this is more aggressive. I'm not even going to call it aggressive, but I think he is... Nope, never mind. He is playing the player here a bit. I was expecting him to go and get that iron and then use that for dragoons, but he has actually chosen to spend the iron on a full infantry company instead. He has more settlers coming out, so he's playing like the BoNT we know and love. He's going to be using these scouts and... I keep wanting to call them quarries. These scouts and engineers to go take this Haroon, and still no sign of the Haroon being taken from our friend CrazyK9. He is just using these super scouts to take the Slan. So really, he could have done this with any number of companies. Did not need this super tech company, but he's feeling good about it. He's going to be able to take it fairly no problem. Oh, look at that. That was actually really honorable. Because we had banned what we call town stealing, where you kind of use one group to draw the militia and the other group to just attack the settlement. It's something that we were doing earlier in the tournament, and then we decided that it was just stupid. I could go on about why, but we decided to ban it, and it looked like he was doing it unintentionally for a second, and at the last minute he retreated his guys away so that he could honorably defeat the militia. So 10 points for honor there. It looks like the Frozen Ruin has been taken by our friend BoNT, and he is sitting at a very hefty 200 gold. What the hell is he going to do with that? He's really just been stockpiling money here. You know, he hasn't built really anything. Oh, and look at this. Crazy is sneaking this outpost in the corner here. Very interesting. I do not think BoNT has seen it yet, and it's a good chance he's not going to anytime soon. Obviously, in an ideal world, you're scouting every single position like this on the map, but in the throes of a game, when you're trying to take indies, when you're trying to take layers, when you're trying to scout your opponent, like in his main and see what he's doing, and defend against stuff, it's like, god damn, it can be hard to find time to scout. So I think CrazyK9 might be able to get away with this, and it's going to get his econ a little bit back up to a respectable place, still sitting at that +28. But he is now going to start to make his presence known on the map with these 2 Super Scouts, and this is where shit is going to go down. The timing is actually going to be really brutal here for our friend BoNT, because BoNT's just going to take this, but these guys are going to be able to swoop in and deal with all of this, actually. They're going to be able to get rid of these engineers. They're going to be able to take this Ahriman, and this sucks for BoNT. Immediate reaction, I see. He is getting his infantry immediately there, but this is really scary. He had done no scouting up until now, so he does not see this coming. And look at this, microing these guys to be able to kill every last engineer, and the engineer company is absolutely going to go down. Engineers are destroyed from BoNT. And look at that. The Ahriman taken so early. Is he just going to raise it? I'm interested to see. Because he can actually really use it, and BoNT isn't making any motions here to be able to take it back. So even though oftentimes when you steal a settlement like that, especially in India, it's a good idea to just raise it, I do not think that is the case here. I think he's going to be really happy to have that supply zone. And all of a sudden, this is looking really scary for BoNT. Really, really scary. And he's still sitting at 260 gold. I have to admit, I'm confused what he's doing. I mean, he obviously meant to spend a decent chunk of that as soon as he took that Ahriman, but he is just really, really sitting on that gold right now. Okay, so he is getting library up, and he's going to be going sorceress, which is a really good counter to Super Scout. There's a lot of really good counters to sorceress, but knowing that your opponent has invested in library tech and not temple tech means they're not going to be having, and they don't have a barracks either, you know that. They're not going to be having paladins out anytime soon, and they have these super mobile companies. So being able to get sorceress is actually an amazing thing he can do here. Okay, these engineers are, looks like they're kind of just going around the map, just starting to take mines. And that's a really good thing to do right now. I mean, he's getting his economy up to a respectable point without really having to do that much in his settlements. Like you see, there's not really much happening. He's in some negatives, but has kind of stabilized that. And if he turned that into a bank at any point, he would completely stabilize it. But God, this is such an interesting game. The Ahriman down so early, and this is kind of dire straits for BoNT. But getting that first sorceress company out, and look, his econ is actually behind at this point. Oh, never mind. Well, okay. There definitely something else just came out of... Oh, he did raise the Ahriman. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I knew he was at a decent econ, but he decides to raise the Ahriman, and I guess just go take his. That's an interesting play, because I think he had enough of map and military domination where he could have kept it, but it was a safe play, and he just doesn't want to get caught doing anything stupid, because if he did get caught and BoNT was able to take that back, then it could have been really, really bad for him, actually. He's already so far ahead that he doesn't have to take any risks, and I think that's kind of where his mind's at right now. And yeah, he's going to go take his Ahriman. It'll be no problem. BoNT going for more settlers. As always, BoNT's playstyle is so different than mine that sometimes my mind can't comprehend it. Because if I was in this position and I was really threatened by my opponent, the last fucking thing in my mind would be getting more settlers. But BoNT fucking makes it work. He is just a way better macro player than I am, and way better at settling. And I mean, I just don't know how much he knows. If he had scouted that Ahriman, then he could have been seeing that it was being taken, and thus kind of having an idea where Crazy is on the map. I mean, he certainly knows that Crazy sacrificed a lot of economy to be able to get those super scouts early. Now, I'm not sure who took this. If BoNT took that, that would have been awesome if he was able to snag both, but I honestly don't know if that happened. Kind of missed that. And this ranger is getting screwed by pathing, getting caught along the river, but he is going to be able to come back. But by the time he... Oh my God. BoNT, you crazy motherfucker, you're getting more settlers. Like, at this point in the game, I would just be scared shitless that if my opponent's going that aggressive on Super Scouts, they would have, like, goons or, I don't know, wizards or something else out by now to continue the aggression. And I would just be praying for dear life, but that is not how BoNT rolls. Or maybe I'm just making a fool of myself and just saying that same thing about the exact same settlers I just talked about before, which seems really likely. I don't think he made any more settlers since I... Oh, maybe he did. Dude, I don't know. But he's going and taking Hinslan. He's really turtling up here in a nice way. Yeah, and Crazy has not come back yet. And so he has to know that Crazy has control of the map, which he does. Crazy has a really nice economy right now, taking control of all those mines. Yeah, he is just taking control of every mine in this map. And that's a really powerful thing you can do. The map has actually been changed since then, so there's no wood in the middle. It's just gold, precisely for the reason that you can just get some really powerful... if you have map control, you can just really get a lot of resources, and so we decided to knock that down just a little. But anyways, these super scouts go in here, they kind of see what's going on. Another settlement going down for BoNT, and he is just he's very slowly just kind of moving out to be able to take as much slow control of his side of the map as possible. He's just using the Royalist ability to macro off of cheap settlements and being okay with his opponent having control of the rest of the map. And if you see this, dude, Crazy has not gotten anything else this entire game. He got those 2 super scouts really early, and I don't know how much aware of this BoNT is, but BoNT's playing like he knows this. BoNT's playing like he knows that this is kind of a bit of a false threat. But I do like the play. Crazy went for this super crazy early aggression, kind of put the scare in his opponent, and then instead of continuing the aggression, just took complete control of the map. Plus 101 is a sick economy right now to BoNT's plus 63. BoNT is definitely not overreacting and making too many units, but he's going to continue to roll out the Sorceress here. And like I've said before, this is a great counter to what the Royalist or to what the Council player is doing, and I don't think Crazy knows about these Sorceresses yet. He might have seen them when he went up here, but I kind of have a feeling he has not seen them yet. And so when they come into battle, it's going to be surprising to our Council player, and it's going to do some damage. First little cast of their protection spell there, but did not get any brittles down. Man, this is an exciting game already. Crazy has such a different playstyle than most of the other players who are within this community. Crazy is another one of the players like Marduk, who's kind of from the other community, who just decided to take place in this tournament when it was announced. He'd played with us a couple times. I have one of his other videos up on YouTube. And yeah, he's done a good job of kind of understanding the maps. He still plays in this very different play style that we're not really used to in the Kohan Citadel. But, oh, look at this. He's going in to try to do a raid, and, oh, not able to take that iron. It's enough in the guard zone where that didn't work. But admire him for the attempt, and look at this. BoNT is going to do his damnedest to try to catch these guys. And this could actually be really dangerous. That could have been a huge misplay here. Oh my god, especially if all these sorcerers come up and they're able to freeze them. He might get away. Okay, the Rangers and our friend Dali is going to get away. And I still see no more companies out of Crazy. This is actually, pardon the pun, this is kind of crazy. Okay, now we see Super Goats coming out, but look at that. 19 minutes into the game. He got these guys out at like the 4-minute mark or something, and then it took him until the 19-minute mark to get another military company besides these engineers. So he just went super aggressive and then super econ, and now he's trying to really use that econ to make something happen. But the timing of BoNT's army is really countering kind of the way that Crazy has played here. Crazy just didn't continue to get any military, so now when the Royalist player has a really strong military, the Council player kind of has nothing. He just has the same shit he's had all game, and it's not going to do it for right now. These Super Goats are coming out, and another company of Super Goats. He's very willing to let his econ slip a little bit here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see something else come out, and maybe his economy will slip a little bit more. I'm not quite sure what he's planning. This is going to go down. There's no way he's going to be able to contend with this army. And look, these scouts, Ravid is dead. These scouts are getting completely caught. The Rangers are frozen. And those scouts go absolutely down. It's looking a lot better for BoNT here. The economies are getting a lot closer to each other, and this army is just intimidating. The Sorceress play that BoNT's been showing this tournament has been fucking awesome. Really like it. Look at this. I just love seeing shit like this. It's really subtle, but outpost, settlement, and then he got those long footmen up that he is just entrenching there. He's really... It's such a small play to just like go and recruit some footmen and not keep them with your main army, but he's just doing everything he can to prevent a raid, and it's going to be really hard to push through here as a Royalist player. And that's the one place he's afraid of. Like, he's got this side kind of completely covered. He's not afraid of anything coming out of there or here, because that's kind of where his map presence is. Very, very cool to see. And now he is on the offensive. BoNT has figured out, he knows at this point that he has kind of a commanding lead in terms of military. Okay, so Bowman with Wizard coming out. We have these double super goats. So all of a sudden, a formidable army has been created by Crazy. Yeah, it's cool to me to see. It's really different the way that I play or some other players play, where I feel like I'm like kind of constantly trying to churn out an army and like constantly doing this balance between macro and military. But he's just kind of putting the switches on and off, where he goes for the early companies, goes for the super hard eco, and doesn't add anything to his military, and then switches right again to military. So very cool to see. Very cool. Plus 81 is he, and plus 89. BoNT for the first time in this game, or not the first time in this game, the first time in a while, in about 10 minutes, since Crazy went to Crazy Econ mode, he has gotten himself to a very, very respectable econ position where he is now beating Crazy, but Crazy is coming in here with some scary goats, and BoNT has absolutely nothing back here, actually, to stop it. He's got short Lancers, he's got long Footmen, and those are both really just defensive companies. The Lancers are a good play. They get this plus AV and plus DV against Cavalry, so seeing the Super Scouts, seeing the Super Goats, Lancers are a really cheap Royalist tool that he can use to get something that just has a little bit of an edge against these companies. And that's not saying that they're going to straight out beat Wind Riders. Like, these Super Goats are going to dominate them, but in terms of cost efficiency, Lancers are cheap, and they just get that little bit of an extra boost against Cavalry where it makes them more worth it. Same for Footmen. They have plus 5 AV versus Cavalry. And look at this. He's taking it slow, waiting till the militia is gone, waiting for his Lancers to come, and he's going to move these guys in. Oh, and it looks like Crazy is actually really not paying attention over there, because we have a huge attack from BoNT coming into his main. And look at this, catching these Bowmen with Wizards. Oh my god, this is actually horrible for him. Super Scouts are going to come in and try to do what they can, but BoNT's army is right here at the gates of the Council's hometown. Holzbrook is going to go down. There's absolutely no question about it. And the goats, what are they doing? I actually don't know. It looks like they are getting pushed away. Maybe Crazy's not completely paying attention. I don't know if just Footmen and Lancers are able to do that, but this is actually looking like it's completely BoNT's game all of a sudden. Crazy has been completely decimated. His main is going to go down. His economy is completely done. These goats are just off in the corner dying. And holy shit, I mean, I love the play. That's what I was talking about with those long Footmen. They didn't end up being defensive in that position, but they were just held back at the base along with those short Lancers. And they were able to do everything they needed to counteract this big raid that was coming from Crazy. And Crazy's whole game, honestly, was kind of on that raid. Whether he knew it or not, he needed to succeed there. And he didn't. It was actually a colossal failure. Meanwhile, his main got attacked by BoNT. And I don't see Crazy getting back in this game, to be honest. He's getting some last-minute Slan out here. He's getting, you know, he has these guys that didn't die or just forced to retreat. His economy is shit, but BoNT is here at the gates with... It's not that strong of an army, but these sorceresses are just doing such a good job to counter what the council player has. And look, there's just like bad engagements going on with the militia that's just causing BoNT to be really ahead here. And BoNT is sitting back. He's not going to let those goats do anything crazy. Coming in here with the infantry. These scouts are going over to stop any flanks now that he sees that. Okay, we have Crazy coming in to do his last-ditch effort, try to make a move here, try to do some good fancy micro and take stuff out, but the sorceresses, they are just freezing everything. And look, the captain went down. This group never even got its support up, and its militia is going to go down. I'm sorry, its front is going to go down, and its morale is going to go down so quick. The only thing dealing damage here is these Wizards and Bowmen, but they are going to get cut short very shortly by the similar companies coming out of BoNT, but he has double of them, and the sorceresses are just stopping anything from happening, and it's so cool to watch. He's had such success with this build. Dolly is going to go down. This is over. This is absolutely done. I don't see any way that our friend Crazy can come back here. I think his name is supposed to say I hate Kohan Ahriman's gift, which is ironic. I don't know why he's playing this game if he hates it. But here he is. A bit of a masochist, I suppose. Or is that a sadist? He likes pain. BoNT is looking really good this game. These guys are going and taking an outpost, but that is going to be far from something that's going to be able to really stop BoNT from continuing to win this game. BoNT is going to be able to take all of this. Now, these goats are going to come in from behind. Really good placement on that outpost. The guard zone is just covering it, giving him a long range of supply all around this area. Goats are coming in. They're going to take it, but this is... Oh my god, and these Rangers... Oh, that is absolutely fucking brutal. They just got... Their pathing just completely fucked up, got caught around this little bit of the river. They're going to die without firing a single shot, and all of a sudden, these companies are a whole lot less imposing. That is absolutely a bummer for Crazy. BoNT takes Athen's reach. He's going to keep that going. He's going to go over here and take this Slan, no problem. And Crazy has got to get out of this game, to be honest. This is over. I don't see any way that he's going to win this. +10 to +97. GG, and that is it. BoNT is the winner. Game 1 he takes with on Destiny with the Sorceress build that we've seen him do so good with this entire tournament. Very cool game. Really interesting play from both players. And yeah, that was awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to have another 1 or 2 games, depending on how the next game goes. It's going to be Crazy's choice of map. Well played, both players. This tournament's wrapping up, but these are some awesome games we're saving to the end. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Join the Discord. Discard? Join our Discard pile. Join the Discord. Come play with us. Give me a hug. I love you.